Don't fly aways. Work with me here. I'm trying to make a video. What is up, you guys? It's your girl Re-Elle Elle, and welcome back to another rendezvous with you know who. Hey, it's nice to see you. If you don't know me, it's Re-Elle, and thank you for joining me. Hey. If this is the first time you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be part of the What's Tea Hunty R. So today, if you already read that title, we are doing a rundown of how things went with my hair wax. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go and look at it. Definitely go take a look at it. It was so much fun. But yes, right now, this is what we have. This is what I got. They're much messier. I'll be sure to leave the link down below so you guys can get a hold of them if you'd like to. Anyway, so as you guys know, I got gold and red, but it actually ended up being like this like yellowy color and like pink. Okay, so now we're gonna discuss the things that I have found out about these products, and if you guys are planning on getting them, what to expect and how to take care of your hair once it has the hair wax in it. So yeah, as you can see, I used it up real good, you know what I'm saying? This one, yeah, they're both used up, and my mom also has borrowed them a couple times. Borrowed. Anyway, so the first thing is in terms of shedding. So you are gonna get some shedding. You are gonna get some, what do you call that, debris in your hair. It's gonna be kind of like pieces, and if you end up like putting gel in your hair, like for example, these are the gels that I use Eco Styler as well as Gorilla Snot. This is the sport one, and I also use the this one. So yeah, if you use any type of gel in your hair, it will like give you little like clumps or pieces. So I would strongly suggest to refrain from using like really heavy gels or even gel at all if you're doing your hair. And also when you use the gel, it actually tends to like rub out the color, especially if you have darker hair like mine. So I would ixnay on the gels, okay? If you need it, if you absolutely need it, go ahead and do it. It's cool. But if you don't, I would suggest you use it as minimalize the amount of times that you use it, okay? Just try not to use it as much. In terms of taking care of it, the thing about it is, what I found was it did rub off on things like clothes or even on your pillow. So what I did was I actually sprayed hairspray in my hair each time I dyed it. So I've dyed it several times. I've put the wax in several times since the first initial video. I've washed it out, and actually when it came to washing it out, I only had to wash it one time to get it out. I did have to use a good amount of shampoo, but only one wash, so that's good. But yeah, in terms of the color staying and not rubbing off on things, I would suggest hairspray, any kind of hairspray really, not oil, like not like sheen, like oil sheen, hairspray. If it's like a stiffener or just regular hairspray, it tends to lock the color in a lot better. You will probably get it rubbing off on something, but it'll be a lot less abrasive as opposed to if you don't put anything at all. So I would suggest getting some hairspray and spraying it on good, okay? And yeah, tying your hair down, I would suggest a silk scarf, whether it's a piece of cloth or an actual scarf. Yeah, so a silk scarf like this is the one that I use, right? And I started out using a cloth, like this is a bandana, right? It's just a normal like bandana, printed bandana. But what I found was that the color, especially in the back, of my head was actually rubbing off on the cloth. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see? But yeah, it was actually rubbing off on the cloth. So once I switched to the silk scarf, it wasn't as bad. I did get some of it some of it did rub off on it, but it wasn't as bad as I think you can see, like the red. But yeah, so I would suggest a silk scarf. Definitely get that. Let's see. It's actually a lot more durable than I would have imagined, and it's a bit stiff but not crunchy, which is great. It works. It's very pigmented. Another thing about it, as you keep it in, the color actually darkens, at least for my hair, darker hair. So the color actually darkens as you leave it on, the longer it goes. When I first put it in, it lasted for about 2 weeks, right? Which I was very surprised about. I thought it would be, you know, out by the first week or the first couple days, but it actually held up really well. So yeah, you don't really have to worry about it in terms of long term, because it lasts for a good while if you take care of it. And whenever I did a hairstyle, I didn't really comb my hair, I more styled it. So it wasn't like a lot of like plaits. This is a twist out that I did, but it wasn't like a lot of plaiting or twisting. It was more so like, you know, puffs and little things that you could do. Not really, I don't suggest that you comb your hair with the hair wax, because it'll get on your fingers, it'll get really messy, and yeah, it gets crazy. So I would suggest you use the hair wax if you plan like to style your hair. Like if you want to do an afro, and it's like, you know, if you want to do an afro and you want like a colored afro, this is definitely the product to use. Here's an example of that right there. And just different styles. I will have it here. Different styles of what you could do with, you know, your hair waxed hair, your colored hair. And yeah, essentially I think that's it, guys. It's actually probably one of the best things I've ever gotten. I'm definitely in the process of getting some more, and I'm gonna try out some new colors and let you guys know. Another thing about it, in the first video when I put them on, like this one was like bright pink and this was like yellow, like ramen noodle yellow. It's not it. But what I found was, once you give it a minute to really sit, the color actually soaks in a lot darker than initially. So yeah, I definitely think that even if you do get these same colors and it turns out like really, really bright, just give it a second. And if you still don't like the color, that's fine. But yeah, I would suggest that you give it a minute so that you can see, because it gets true to color once it's like completely dried out. And once you give it some time to set, then the color will really soak in. So keep that in mind. The first initial like swatch that you do is not gonna be like the color that it's going to be. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense, but hopefully I'm making sense. Okay, in the pictures you see that the hair color is gradually changing from like a auburn, like honey blonde color. First it initially was like a honey blonde color, then it went on to like a deep like firecracker red, like a auburn kind of color, and then it's changed. So what I found, what I would say the ratio for what I used was about 3 parts, no, yeah, probably about 2 parts of the red and 3 parts of the gold. That was what gave the initial color, like the auburn, like the strawberry blonde, like, and then as the day went on, it turned to like that firecracker red. Then the next couple times that I did it, I did more red, so I did about 3 parts red and like 2 parts gold, so it gave me more of a actual like a redhead color, which I really enjoyed. All in all, I think what's great about these is that you can play with it and really, you know, you can have different colors, different variations. You can literally put it in any part of your hair, you can style it, you can do it in the front, in the back, the whole thing. Either way, it's a really, really, really nice and safe way to experiment with your hair. And yeah, who knows? You'll probably be convinced to dye your hair after if you really, really like the color. So I definitely suggest this. You know, if you want to experiment with your hair, try out new things, see what works for you, this is definitely the way to go. So guys, that is all for today. It's a really short video, but I just wanted to give you guys an update on the hair wax and how it went, how it was. It was really, really good. Shedding, there was a bit of shedding. If you comb out your hair, it's gonna be, there is shedding. So I would suggest you don't wear anything light white, grays, anything like that. Wear something darker or something that you keep only at home. Don't wear not something that you wear out. So yeah, and it does stain what it works with. So like my brush, like it has like a red hue to it. The combs and stuff will have a red hue to it, even though it's dry. Even if it's days in, you'll still, like, even if you scratch your head, like the tips of your fingers will be the color of the wax. So yeah, I would look into that. But I feel like all in all, this is definitely something that you should look into if you want to experiment with your hair. So that's all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Yup. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to be part of the What's Tea Hunty army.